Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're entering the world of social skills, and we're going to be talking about, can you rekindle a friendship? Most of the friends that I have now, especially within my close circle, they weren't people that I had just been friends with and there was no disruption. Instead, there were several disruptions along our path today. And these disruptions weren't always bad. With only one friend, it got really bad where we had this huge falling out for us to come back together. For the other friends though, it wasn't like that. Instead, we just departed, right? We either went to a different physical location, we got a different job, we got a different priority in our life at that moment that caused our friendship to somewhat take a pause. And for a lot of these friends, what happened was that one day, out of the blue moon, either me or the other person initiated a call and said, "Hey, how's everything been with you?" And we responded. And then they said, "Let's get a longer call this weekend." And just like that, the friendship was rekindled. It's going to require more work than that. But it all begins with the initiation of a phone call or a in-person meetup. Friendships can easily be rekindled, and if there was no bad blood within the mix, then it's something that you should consider. As adults, more specifically once you hit 30 years old plus, it becomes way harder to have a social life because we do have different priorities. I mean, think about a lot of the friend circle that you lost a connection with. Was there always malice involved? No. A lot of the times you just had such a big workload that you couldn't return their calls on time. So the easiest way in order to, I would say, rekindle a friendship is to initiate contact, and you will be pleasantly surprised. Plenty of times, these guys will be like, "Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was literally just thinking about you. I know you'd think I'm just saying that because you hit me up, but I was actually just thinking about you." And you're going to be pleasantly surprised as well. After that, what you got to do is I keep following up. One friend always has to follow up. Recently, it was actually 3 years ago, my friend who I used to talk to all the time when I was 16 years old and he was 16 years old, we would always talk on the phone. He hit me up 3 years ago and he needed some advice from me. He was going through a very tough time in his life, so he just needed someone to talk to. We talked, and then he ended the call by saying, "Hey, Armani, we used to be so close back when we were 16 years old. We should actually do that again." And I said, "Yeah, I guess." And that was the last conversation we had 3 years ago. So it's not just about initiating contact with someone, it's about following up a couple of times. If he kept on following up and said, "Hey, Armani, what are you doing this weekend? We should have a quick chat," I may have been down. And that's one of the important words you want to understand for today's episode. I may have been down. I mean, 3 years ago, I was trying to get ArmaniTalks off the ground and I was just busy. And I didn't really have time to rekindle a friendship with a person that I knew when I was 16. So it was a maybe. A lot of the times when you're trying to rekindle that friendship with someone that you have been missing, they may not be down. They have different priorities in their life. So you just need to be aware of that. It may sting a little bit when you face that rejection, but at least you tried. Once you hit 30 years old plus, it becomes way harder to manage connections. So I am pro rekindling friendships, especially if there was no bad blood in the mix. If you enjoyed today's talk and you want to get more insights like this into social skills, be sure to check out my book, The Charisma King. Within this book, you will learn much more about spotting the difference between acquaintances and friends, how to stack up friends, how to build your tribe filled with loyal people, and much more. Check out the book by going on ArmaniTalks.com, hit shop, or just scan this barcode if you're watching from TV and grab your copy today. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I will catch you next time.